Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're finally doing a guide again. Today we'll be talking about the hero KAJA. KAJA's passive is Ref Sanction, so basically every 6 seconds he has an enhanced basic attack which has a larger range, and it also sends a lightning bolt which deals magic damage up to 3 nearby enemies. KAJA's first skill, the Ring of Order, basically releases and contracts a ring around him that deals magic damage to enemies that come into contact with this ring, and it also reveals them if they are in the bush. For every enemy hero or minion that he hits, the Ref Sanction passive actually reduces cooldown by a certain amount of time. KAJA's second skill is the Lightning Bomb. Basically it's a blink skill that allows him to move in a certain direction and leaving behind 3 lightning balls, which damages enemies if they actually touch these balls. KAJA's ultimate is Divine Judgment. Basically, once he uses this skill on an enemy hero, the enemy hero is suppressed and dealt magic damage, and KAJA can actually pull them along in the direction that he is moving to for a certain amount of time. You cannot remove a suppression effect with Purify or any crowd controlling removal skills. So I don't know if you can tell, but my KAJA gameplay will be slightly old. This was in the last patch because I haven't played KAJA recently. He has fallen off the meta a little bit due to the nerf to the magic penetration and to his skills as well, but nonetheless he is still very effective. He's also a very good counter pick for certain heroes such as assassins like Hayabusa and Lancelot, because his ultimate can actually suppress them and prevent them from running away. This is my build and emblem for KAJA. KAJA's core item is Calamity Reaper because it enables his basic attack to deal even more damage. Other than that, all the basic items are basically magic damage items because I feel that the most important thing for him is to burst down enemies. You can build him full burst damage so that once he actually flickers to an enemy and uses his ultimate and pulls them towards the enemy dies straight away. So that's the most important thing that I feel that KAJA comes in play. But of course you can use KAJA as a support roam, so he actually does very well in this role because he's able to zone out enemies because they're always scared of getting hit by his ultimate and then getting dragged to the enemy and then getting destroyed by them. And now without further ado, let's get into the gameplay. In the early game, you always want to use KAJA's basic attack to poke the enemies as well as to take the lanes as fast as you can, because I think that the most important thing for KAJA to do is to get to level 4 as fast as he can. One special tip to take note of is that if enemies are actually hiding inside the grass and you use your basic attack on the minions that are nearby the enemy, you can actually reveal them because the lightning bolt will actually transfer back into the grass. With your ultimate at level 4, KAJA can definitely become much more aggressive, especially against an enemy hero that is underfarmed. The key to using KAJA's ult is basically to suppress the enemy with your ultimate and then use your second skill to move towards a direction so that you prevent them from running away or to pull them towards your teammates. KAJA is a great hero to actually zone out enemies because of his ultimate, so here even though the enemies do not know that my ultimate is not available, they are still running away because they are scared of getting ulted by me and being suppressed. Always pan the map to see where the enemies are so they can hear their skills and then try to go over there and try to threaten them with the possibility of you using your ult on them. The fact that your ult is available will prove very useful, and even if they don't have your ult, you will still scare them off. Always let your teammates know when your ult and your flicker is ready, so this will enable them to actually choose whether is it a right time for them to actually go in for an invade or whether it's time for them to actually just back off because your ultimate is not available. Without his core items, KAJA is actually quite weak in terms of bursting the enemy, which is why you need to build up your farm as fast as possible. So over here I overestimated myself and lost to the duo of Cyclops and Haya. So for those of you who don't know, your first skill actually still comes back to you after you used it, even though you died. So here I managed to kill the Hayabusa with that. Once you have built up some core items, you don't always need to use Kaja's ultimate in order to deal damage to the enemies. Your first skill and even your basic attack is enough to do so. Because of his ult, Kaja is a very important enemy for teams to actually counter against, so always be careful of your positioning because enemies will try to use all their skills on you to actually take you down so that they won't be attacked by your ultimate. And like I said just now, in the skills department, Kaja's first skill can actually reveal enemies, so if you are not sure whether the enemy is inside, just use your first skill and damage them. Always use your first skill and then use your basic attack in a team fight because these skills actually deal a lot of damage to the enemies, and in a team fight where everyone is together, you can actually burst down a lot of enemies at the same time. I think it's very important to take note what kind of skills your enemies are using, because some of them use execute and it's quite a cheap way to take out the enemy but very effective, especially when the enemy doesn't know that you have execute and come close to you to try to deal that last bit of damage to you. Sometimes the use of your ult is not to pull someone somewhere, it's basically just so you can hold them there and prevent them from using their skills to deal damage to you or to counter attack you. So here we use the ult to actually suppress Zilong to prevent him from actually running away. Over here, had I used the first skill, I might have killed Elders. Because I used the second skill, I didn't manage to deal any damage to him. So sometimes when he's flying towards you, you can actually use your first skill to try to damage him while he is running towards you. When you reach this kind of situations where the entire enemy team is actually focusing on you and ganking you endlessly, just continue to try to farm so that you can actually put yourself in the best position to get items and win the game in the late game. So a key to fighting short range heroes is basically after you suppress them, if you're not able to burst them down, move away from them and then try to come back towards them and then use your second skill while doing so that they actually get damaged by your lightning balls and your first skill and your basic attack. Kaja's first skill and his enhanced basic attack has quite a large range, so if you ever need to chase an enemy down, use your second skill or your flicker to chase after them, and then use your first skill and basic attack so that you can destroy them. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe and click the notification bell, and join my Discord if you want to talk to other people about Mobile Legends.